Yo, what's good, fam? So, first off, please excuse the audio technical difficulties in this one. As you know, we do everything live on the Oakcliff Beach Show. Bandwidth caused some pitch shifts, and it sounds a bit weird. But don't let that stop you from missing out on this valuable content. Today's guest is Craig Blackmoore, a digital slash crypto slash glitch artist. The dude is awesome, and he introduced me to even more worlds behind cryptocurrency. This stuff is more than just digital gold. It's more than just the next major currency. Now, tune into Oakcliff Beach number 26, NFTs, Ethereum, and Cryptovoxels. Craig Blackmoore.
Yes,
Now,
that is me.
first thing, is that like your legit name? Because it sounds like super cool, actually.
It is not, but it may as well be because I've been going by it since I was like 16. So
It's funny. Someone asked me the question the other day if my name was actually SANe, and I should have just went with that reply. I mean, I didn't go with it and just went ahead and rolled with it.
yeah, that's pretty much how it is. I mean, Craig is my real name. It's a part of my real name, but Blackmoore I added a long time ago. I was like, I need a name that sounds important. So,
Yeah, man,
so
it sounds like a almost a superhero level. It sounds like something like you would have as a superhero name. And you might go by something else, but that's like yes, Craig Blackmoore, aka I don't know, Crypto Warrior Savior. I don't know. I'm just going on some random crap at the moment.
hey, I'm glad it sounds like that because I've wondered for a long time. I'm like, does this make me sound too old? you know?
Well, the other cool part too is because just another tidbit. I saw you in one of my good friends, Paul's his server, and I recognized your artwork. And I was like, wait, that's old dude that don't have any cast with. Hey, so yes, your image is iconic. I picked it up from just it being a small little icon. So yeah, that's cool.
Awesome. I appreciate that because that's a new logo and it looks kind of like me. I mean, I have a nose and everything, but I'm glad that it's catching eyes.
And even further, just your art in general, because that is a monster within itself. Ah man. So just the other day, I had a cast with a guy who was the other guy who had commented on my post. He's very versed in just money and gold and cryptocurrency. So I was talking to him about it, and it's a whole monster within itself. Then when I was introduced to what you do, and because we've talked about this before, was it in NFTs? I didn't have the actual name, but then actually finding out there's a whole nother layer to this. It's just whoo. So
Yeah.
if you could you give a brief explanation of what an NFTs is?
Well, NFTs, it's actually just NFT, and
Okay.
singular, but it stands for non-fungible token. And what it is it's a token that can be purchased and that can grow in value, but it can't be used as cash. So it's not a Bitcoin, it's not Ether, it's a whole different kind of token itself. And it's a graphic token that you can attach an image or some type of image file to. And it started off with just JPEG images and GIFs, and now you can attach MP4s, 3D models, any type of web graphic format, pretty much, to
That's
this
crazy.
token. So it's literally just a token that investors and traders and art enthusiasts buy. And it's just like buying a crypto. You're waiting on that investment to grow. So you buy it from artists that you believe in, artists that's showing that they believe in this technology. And you wait because you know that artist is going to keep trying to grow their value in crypto. And eventually their art can either grow slow over time or like overnight because it's a cool new thing that people are getting into. And so if you're just a good artist right now, you might have some overnight success with your first, second, or third piece. It's really cool.
Dude, so with that, I went through your website, and it's cool because there's a lot of things that it brings to my attention. It just captures the age of not necessarily meme. Well, yeah, it's like a fusion of meme, vaporwave. Are you familiar with what is that? Cool 3D World by any chance?
Yeah, I used to, I thought I followed them, but I haven't seen anything from them in a long time. But yeah, no, cool 3D world.
Well, the essence, it's so cool to see these little tokens, these different things, and how I'm trying to find a really good word for it. All I know is that we've essentially updated what people have been doing, or at least old heads have been doing for ages, which is let me go buy this old piece of art for my kids and just let it sit around. So after I'm gone, my kids can take that same art that I bought for maybe 100,000 back then, and now it's worth who knows how many millions it'll be worth for. But now we've updated it to ta-da! It's virtual. We got this new form. I'm excited. I'm excited, and I'm also fascinated. And yeah, man, I'm tell me how you got your start with it, and just yeah, man, yeah, I'm excited. My bad, I'm kind of excited.
It's
I'm trying to calm down at the moment.
Oh no, dude, I feel it. It's very exciting, and it can be overwhelming when you get into it and realize like, wow, this is happening. Like you could do that, and it's yeah, like you said, it's updating an old thing that's always been there. Art has always been a thing. Investment art has always been a thing. But just like what platforms like Robinhood and Webull did for stocks, where anyone can now get into buying stocks with no commissions or low commissions or whatever. This is the same thing for buying art. You might not be able to afford a Picasso piece, but you can afford your favorite internet artist piece, and that's growing in decent value. And you can watch it happen like real time because it's shared like stocks. People are really open. Well, first of all, it's on the blockchain, so you have to really kind of be open, because if anyone wants to know how much cash you're selling things for, they can just look it up. But
Yeah.
people are open about that, and it's kind of a satisfaction to it, because you're seeing, oh snap, this person just got in and they're already making a few $100. I'm gonna get into, or I'm at least gonna learn about this. It brings a lot more people in, because sure, eventually someone's gonna make millions off of NFTs, but when that's happening, everyone else who got into this in time is gonna be growing up the charts as well. And I got into it this year. Honestly, I've been into crypto for a while, but
Hmm.
I got into Ethereum crypto, like buying Ethereum more this year. I've always been into Bitcoin, of course, and I've had some Ethereum, but I never really looked into the technology of it. So this year, I just started taking trading crypto really seriously and
Hmm.
researching every coin out there, everything that was in the headlines. And I decided, like, for sure, got to have some Bitcoin, for sure, got to have some Ethereum. And then Ethereum, though, I've always heard so much about it, but what is really to it? So I started checking out D-apps, and I started checking out D-apps are decentralized apps. And I started checking out, different wallets and platforms within Ethereum. And that's when I came across NFTs.
Dude, okay, so there's so much that unpacked with just that conversation. And so first off, D apps. Take me back to that, please, because I want to know about D apps too. Give me a briefing on D apps. I understand decentralized, and I'm wondering if that has something to do with you apps that you normally wouldn't find on the Google store. So you're going to maybe other countries and finding things and getting them. And I don't know if I'm I'm barking up the right tree, but I'm wondering if that's what you mean by D apps.
They're pretty much like websites that operate on the blockchain. They're like on the Ethereum blockchain, or
Mm.
whatever blockchain they're a part of. But they're literally just small applications that keep everything in the registry on the blockchain. And a D app is like, for example, Rarible is a platform for selling NFTs, like a marketplace. The idea there, because it's programmed to function, like as soon as you get on it, your wallet's going to be triggered because your wallet attaches to your browser, and that opens to ask you for your password so you can log into this app through your wallet. Your wallet's like your gateway into the blockchain. So this website can be seen by anybody with internet for the most part, but features can't really be utilized until you have a wallet. You can look all through the website pretty much as if you logged in, but buttons don't appear, functions don't appear, and abilities don't appear until you log into the blockchain. And
I think that's kind of sexy. It feels like this
awesome.
This membership, like, hey, slow your roll. Like, it's kind of cool, man. It feels like some cool shit.
Exactly. It's really cool. And when I learned about that, I fell in love with Ethereum after that. I was like, holy shit, everything is tied to this wallet, because everything costs money anyway. So you might as well just make it a fluid situation. And if you're doing enough on the blockchain, you're probably making some money too. So it's this even exchange of, I walked into this door, get access to it. Now I can see what's actually for sale here and how much it's selling for. Or I can at least bid on some art or use the service, because, there's ways to get loans on Ethereum. There's ways like exchanges, decentralized exchanges, to do like change one crypto to another or access a whole different wave of tokens.
But it's a whole nother fucking world.
Exactly. And it's amazing, so I stumbled across that, and I was just like, okay, I think I found my favorite coin, and I'm gonna invest in this world. I'm gonna invest time and try to see if I can get a part of it. And this was like right before NFTs really blew up too. And they were always a thing. Like I've read about video game streamers using NFTs to like distribute tokens and just different things like that. And I've heard about just a lot of things dealing with gaming and collectibles, like cards, like sports cards, Pokemon cards. There's so many, like CryptoPunks, which is an NFT collectible series, one of the first ones, and it's all of these computer generated pixelated punk figures, just like little profile pictures, but each one is unique. They all have some type of different asset or attribute to their look, and they were for sale, started at a low price. Someone buys it, then they resell it because the demand is up. Everyone wants one of these limited CryptoPunks, just like baseball cards. And that is where it really took off. That's where art started to be introduced, and different like artists started. Because think about it, as an artist, a digital artist, I post a lot to things like Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and stuff. And usually all that's really benefiting is Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Is giving them more data, them more of a reason to have people sign up and use their platform. I get a few likes, follows, and things here, right? But there, it's like, you can just upload something you made, have it on sale inexpensively, just sell it real quick. Like, why not? You would have just threw it on Instagram anyway for some likes. Throw it on here, and if somebody likes it.
What amazed me, that actually amazed me, because I was scrolling through and I was going, wait, this is 0.11 cents. This is 13 cents. Like, it's at face value, you're going, wait, what am I walking into? And why haven't I already started doing some shit like this or investing in something like this? It's
exactly. And that's actually is 0.11 ether. So that's Ethereum. That's one of those things you can't buy it unless you're in the blockchain. So
explain that. Well, I want to take you back to the source, which is the blockchain. And I was briefed on that the other day, but when it comes to the blockchain, I have a couple questions, and I guess that's like, can anyone partake in the blockchain? What do you have to do to partake in the blockchain? And I guess more on the lines of, do you participate if you're an investor, because I would think that if you're an investor, you wouldn't necessarily be participating in the blockchain. You're just there and you're basically buying things. Where if you're an actual creator or moving stuff around, then that's when you would actually be participating in the blockchain.
Yeah, I mean, there's blockchain is just a technology. It's a type of technology, just like the internet, of how things are linked together and how computers communicate with each other. And it's linked in a way that you always get to see, like, everything that's attached to this chain has access to see what happens on this chain. And that way it keeps everything honest, and the programming behind the technology itself keeps everything in order because it's autonomous. It's like, unless you can hack it, which is happens all the time, it just kind of keeps things going. And you know, Bitcoin is a currency that's on a blockchain, so it's cash that you can invest in, use to buy goods and whatnot, and that is always kept like a receipt on the ledger of the blockchain. Ethereum is a smart contract technology based blockchain. So
Now, what is that? Yeah, I'm sure you're going to tell me.
it's like it has sets of rules and agreements that are made in between every action. Now, I'm not a specialist or I don't know a ton about like the details of how the programming works, but the way I've read about it working and experienced it working is just like, okay, so typically if you're on a platform like Instagram and you like something or you follow something, well, if you follow someone, you just click follow. Like, you need to click it in order to have access to follow something. But when you're on a decentralized app, you're making an agreement that's going to be registered on the blockchain to link to this other account, to follow this account. So like on some platforms, if you're going to follow another artist, your wallet's going to open up with, like, you have to grant permission to make this change to your account in your corner of this network. So everything you do is based on these little contracts. So that's how you can sell different things. You can mint your own tokens and create your own apps that are stemmed from this technology. And it's just I guess it's a smarter technology than what Bitcoin started with, because Bitcoin started it all. And it's bare bones. It's a very solid technology, but it had one purpose, and that's currency. Where Ethereum is more of like, okay, we're going to use this technology for currency, but also for storing information, transferring information, processing things, running programs and software. It could be used for all kind of stuff. You know, you start a record label, have an artist signed to your label. The agreement is made on the blockchain that every sale that they have, you get this percentage, they get this percentage automatically. There's no accountant or middleman that's going to cut those checks. It does it automatically. It has that agreement locked into it.
That's so sexy.
Right, exactly. So it's just like, why are we, this should be how things are. Now we have to go through banks and we have to trace paper, make sure we're getting paid right. This thing just does it automatically. Like, it's a part of the process of you getting paid. And, you know, you just wake up to more money or less, depending on what you did.
I'm so glad you said that, because yeah, Bitcoin is a currency, but it's so crazy to hear, hey, we just stepped it up a notch and we took Ethereum and we basically said, we gave it more function. I love that. I don't know. I've been, well, like lately when I talk to people, I always tell them how things are this and that at the same time. And I love the fact that Ethereum is this and that at the same time. It's
Right.
nice.
It's the only way to go. You know, you build off of something, you don't just duplicate it. And, you know, there's a lot of other smart contract platforms out there, and there's other NFT platforms like Wax. But I have tried to look into Wax. I haven't dedicated a lot of time because I'm really sold on Ethereum. I like what's going on in the Ethereum network, and there's so much good art coming in it. Like, friends of mine who have been doing digital art for a long time, They're coming into Ethereum now, and it's cool to see this community finally get paid because we've got likes. Everyone's had a piece go viral. Everyone's had a piece get stolen. No one's ever been paid, you know? So it's finally time to get paid.
So I guess break down the creation for a piece, just an NFT piece. If you could just fathom a simple piece, and yeah, I guess just break down what it would take to make an NFT.
Okay, so like in the most basic sense, this is an investment world too. So that's another thing to always keep in mind, that it takes money to make money, and it takes work to make money, and it takes paying attention to trends to make money in a lot of cases. But this is a broad network. There's a lot going on. So in the most simple case, all you have to do is create digital art. You know, it can be a JPEG or a GIF image. Go onto a platform like Rarible. And in order to get onto that, you need to have a Ethereum wallet. And the most common one is MetaMask. MetaMask works with like everything, and it's a plugin that goes right into your Chrome browser, or it's an app you can have on your phone. And you go to MetaMask, you have this wallet, you have to have some Ethereum that you buy through, you know, any of the things like Binance, Coinbase, any of that. You buy your Ethereum, put some in your wallet, and that's going to be for you to mint tokens and to sign contracts and to pay gas, is what it's called, gas fees. And gas fees is the processing fee that it takes for somebody's computer to process your request. So, you know, like in Bitcoin, with Bitcoins, it used to be a computer mines Bitcoin, and as a result, it gets paid to mine that Bitcoin, which is why people mine Bitcoin, because it's creating the Bitcoin. But now you need, you know, giant fucking nuclear silos to like mine, you know, servers to make a half of a coin. But with Ethereum, it's just everything's being processed on someone's computer. And if the network is busy, then the gas gets expensive, like very expensive. It could cost you $50 to do something very simple. And it gets there, like, because with DeFi, which is a whole new different thing, way to finance digitally, and all these new platforms are coming out with their own coins, and they blow up and everyone got to buy it, and then they crash tomorrow and everyone's got to switch, and it just clogs the network, and there's a lot going on. So when the network's really clogged, it takes a while for requests to process, and it could be very expensive. But if the network's clear, then usually you're just paying like 50 cents to a couple bucks for some gas to process something. So you need to have, you know, a couple $100 in Ethereum in your wallet just to work with. So you create your art, you got your wallet set up and funded, you sign up for Rarible, and you mint a token, you create some art. And it's literally as simple as like uploading to Instagram. You just follow directions, upload your art, pay your gas fees, and there it is. It's minted. Wow. And that's, you know, an open market, like OpenSea or Rarible. Anybody can really put their art up there. But then there's more private markets like Super Rare, where that is either invite or it's practically invite only. You can apply or you get invited. And
that is sexy. Are you inside that?
Yeah, I'm on Super Rare, and I've released 2 pieces on there so far. I've been playing around with Rarible, but quite honestly, I don't like it that much. It's great, but it's got a lot going on, right? It's really popular. And you know, when things get popular, they just go any way the wind blows. So that's what's happening. But with Super Rare, I'm friends with a lot of the artists on there. I've followed a lot of the artists on there, and it's a higher caliber of artwork, and I love putting art on there. It just feels great to just be like, yeah, we're on Super Rare. But that's where more expensive stuff is sold, though. That's like almost like one of the Christie's auction house of crypto art. So nothing in there is like less than an Ethereum. And that where was I? Okay, so yeah, you upload something to Rareable and it's part of the marketplace. If you're on something like super rare, the process is similar, but it's a smaller group of people. It pays attention to things a little differently. Like I don't know. It's pretty much the same thing. It's just a little more exclusive and vetted. And then there's more platforms coming out that are the same idea of, you know, come into our corner. We have the best stuff, but all the same. It's just it's fun.
Right now, I feel like a kid in a candy store, and I'm just sitting here like with this big ass smile, like, damn, I wanna experience more of this. Please, there's a in the community, there's a channel called The Showcase. Please share your stuff, share anything that you felt it's like it just made you go be inspired to continue in it. I want to see more of it. I did look up rare. What's that? Raw. I thought it was pronounced Rari at first. And
I mean, that's their token, but they're rareable.
And so all of this, I have just kind of just basically just briskly just touched the ceiling of it, and there's so much more. Like it's just I'm fascinated, man. I'm just sitting here just fascinated and in awe, and it's so cool that this is growing in the background. And nobody knows. Well, and if you do know, it's because you just randomly ran into it. But this is some really cool shit that needs to be told to more people. Like, I love it.
It's so cool. And you mentioned Rari. Now, Rari is a thing. That's a Rareable's token. And I forgot to mention that. But that's one of the things behind Rareable's massive success right now is the Rari token. Now, on Ethereum, with a lot of these apps and platforms, if you sign into it, like if you have it on your blockchain ledger that you've been a part of this or you've done work on these platforms, you get some of their tokens, some of the platform's tokens. And a lot of those tokens, you know, after they reach a certain amount distributed, they go onto the market and get a monetary value. And you can then cash in your tokens for Ethereum, which can then be converted into your currency. So when Rarible and Rari, you know, released, people got Rari for buying art, uploading art, and selling art. Once that got distributed and they had their monetary value assigned, oh boy, it was massive payday for people who've been on the platform early. So now, like, the big thing is everyone's trying, as soon as something new comes out, you want to try it because you want to get in early so you can get those tokens. So when they go on the market, payday. And I don't know any better business incentive than that. You know, you get paid to try it potentially. You get paid if it's successful. It's kind of like stock investments. You know, you're an early investor, get your distribution. And that is another beautiful side of Ethereum right now, is all of these platforms are just like casinos. Upload art, sell it, paid. Into the term Rari distributed, paid. You know, you use this platform to convert your Rari to some other thing. Oh snap, they're paying now because you used them. You know, it's really stupid. It's like so good, it's stupid, man.
You know, the crazy part about this is I'm listening to this, and well, so multiple branches. It's every time I get a little chunk of more information, multiple branches just spread everywhere. But the one I'm gonna go to now is, it's crazy because in video games currently, like if you're playing, I don't know, Rocket League, and they have their own little currency within there. It would be amazing if there was a way, or if that was a thing already, that same currency you were paying for within a game would be connected to an NFT. And I know we're talking about that because it sounds like that would be the goal and the push for the future of video games, where those actually coins would be something. Is there anything like that Clearly?
That's exactly what this is, actually. If you think Second Life, you're familiar with Second Life, right? They
I am not.
they okay, how about The Sims? Like everyone
Okay, I
knows
am.
The Sims. They have the simoleons, which is cash that you work for by playing, going to work in the game, and you make it and you pay bills with it. If there was a stock exchange that allowed you to trade simoleons for cash, this would kind of be that. There are worlds, virtual worlds like Decentraland and Cryptovoxels. That Cryptovoxels is like Minecraft, and Decentraland is just like any virtual world environment that you can physically, like, actually buy virtual real estate as NFTs. Like, to be able to build a platform on those lands, you have to pay for the land in Ethereum or in their token, which can be converted from Ethereum and back to Ethereum. So buy this real estate, which grows in value really fast. Like, you spend thousands of dollars for virtual real estate to build an art gallery and to house hundreds of $1,000s worth of art that people who are now just learning about this are about to go browse and go shopping to get in, into this world now. And
It's crazy.
it is crazy, and it's brilliant because video games are huge. They're mega. Like, everyone's making video games and no one can sell them. No one can sell. Well, the big guys can sell them, but it's hard for independent people to sell their games or to get their games out there. And this new thing allows them to fundraise within their game by selling, like, just like real estate, providing opportunities for other people to make money within your game. So that's what's going on. These virtual worlds are hosting events almost like every few days that are streaming. Things like this podcast would be streamed over somebody's environment, and there will be virtual people in there just hanging out and dancing and stuff to the music. And
It makes me think of VR chat, but on a whole nother level.
yes, that
And
actually is, that's a perfect example. VR chat with a virtual currency that's real.
that's the world. So everyone loves to talk about space being the final frontier, but I'm hearing all of this, and it's like I'm leaning more on the side of virtual reality is the final frontier, man.
Man, we're about to go two different routes, but the thing about space is you got to have a lot of this natural earthly money in order to get out there. Virtual reality, you just got to know how to do it. And so more people are going to go within the computer than outer space. And I think that's what needs to happen anyway, because we sit on so much technology that we do not use. Like, we got phones that could do amazing things, and so many people still ask the dumbest questions. It's just come on, man. You got this thing in your pocket. You could be like, hey, what does this do? And it will tell you. But yeah, the virtual reality, cyberspace, alternate reality, it's a whole different thing. When crypto and AR fully meshes, you think of things
That's
like
what
walking into a building and your wallet automatically pays your admission.
Are you familiar with what's that, Mega Man, or primarily Mega Man NT Warrior, by any chance?
Not really, a little bit.
Okay, so in that world, basically what happens is you got a little net natty where your net natty is all on the net doing everything, controlling reality from within that virtual world. At some point in the series, they make it where actual humans can go within it, and technically, what we're doing now is, especially if we put on our little Oculus and we hop in it, I wonder how far along we are before we are actually to a point where that is the thing. And on your thoughts, your thoughts on it, how long and how far away do you think we are from us actually being in a space where this is the new world we live in? People aren't going to work anymore. Instead, we're hooking up to a thing from like a house we're at, and we're getting paid in our preference of crypto. How far along would you say we are from that?
You know, if you would ask me this last year, I would have been like, oh, maybe another generation, like our grandkids would be into that. But now with 2020, I think we're maybe less than 10 years away from that, because working from home is about to become the norm. And then, you know, I have Oculus. I know a lot of people who bought it because the thing was sold out for a while for Burning Man. Burning Man went VR. And, you know, the
Mm.
Quest 2 is out now and it's cheaper. So it's easier for a lot of people to get in, and you know it's connected to Facebook, which kind of sucks. But billions of people have a Facebook, so that's great. They're trying to get Libra, their cryptocurrency. I know I live in Detroit, Michigan, but I know towns like out here, like Royal Oak, has something called Royal Oak Bucks that is just gift cards. But the idea, like all these companies and brands and towns have ideas of creating their own like little credit system of gift cards or currency to keep people within their little towns or their networks or use their
Mhm.
businesses. We're not far from it at all. It just has to get to enough ears, and it's doing it through art. Art is how it's really getting there. With NFTs, it's going to bring so many people into this. You know, DeFi is great, currency exchange is great, but that's still some very Wall Street type stuff to a common person. So art, everyone gets it. If they're like, oh, I can't watch this movie until I pay for it, get that concept, and they get the concept of PayPal, they'll get the concept of a crypto wallet. So I
Yeah.
don't think we're far from it at all. And I think it's kind of gonna people are kind of gonna be pushed into it because cell phones, you know, they can only do the same thing for so long. We're
But they
trying to
have to
do
get
more
updated.
AR.
Which
Right.
which is like, because in some form or fashion, the way I was thinking about it, you know how we have everyone has a little watch now, and basically the phone turns into your watch. It's on your own arm. Yeah, it's on your arm. And if they come out with some cooler glasses than freaking base level one Google Glass, where you look like you was in Star Trek, but not even cool. If they come out with some cooler versions of them, then that's you don't need the cell phone anymore. You're in that world. You're scanning everything. Yeah, it's just that's the next frontier. I got my money on it, and I got my money on it,
Say
man.
it's on its way, man. All these companies like Google and Facebook and Snapchat, you know, they tried the Google Glass and Snapchat little glasses, but that was in too soon. It was way too soon, and now they are going to do it again. And I think they're ready now, and I think people are ready now. And we're there, man. Like I don't know what's taking us so long. I'm ready for it. I'm like, we've evolved so far, but we're still like driving the same old cars, still doing all this unnecessary stuff, still have to wait in line for a person to scan our groceries. I get it's a job, but come on, man. Like robots should be out here already. We shouldn't still be worried about jobs being taken by robots, because realistically they should have already been taken by robots and we should be onto some new stuff, you know.
Well, actually, since you said that, I want to know your thoughts on because when I go to the store, the way that I basically function when I go to the store, if there is a person, I will still use them because I know there will be a day where they will not exist.
Yeah, I get it. Like I
Have you
feel
already
that
moved
I
on?
have, man, because you know I don't hate people working at stores because I had a lot of retail jobs. I like doing sales and I like selling things in person. But when I like to sell, the reason I like to sell things is because I can go into details, I can answer questions, and I become knowledgeable about the product for that reason. A lot of jobs now are leading their employees of hours for less money. They're not trying to pay them. So as a result, they have to drop the standard of their people on the floor. It's no longer a
Mm,
sales job. It's a move a broom job, put something on the shelf job. Like that, the employees aren't even trained to really talk to people anymore. That's why no one really asks if you have questions about products. They're just like, you find everything all right? You know, like no one cares if you know what you're looking for. They're just there to ring you up and so you don't steal anything. So it's like, I get it, but it used to be like, yeah, I want to know about this thing. I'll ask the person at the counter. Now you don't get any more information from the person at the counter. You know, I've been told to look stuff up tons of times. I've even been recommended by signs and stores to look things up with QR codes. So I'm just like, we don't really need these people at all these different stores. Now, some stores, I like talking to people, like clothing stores and things. But a lot of these stores, if they're just going to pay people crap, well, realistically, they're going to weed people out anyway by when minimum wage gets raised. Like a lot of stores are putting things in position to do that. But that's so dishonest. I'm like, just stop it. You know, just help people get more important jobs and then introduce the machines because we're there. You know, we've been there.
Yeah, evolve the shit that we don't. I mean, as supposedly. Evolution is supposed to get rid of the things that are basically troubling us and bringing on hardships for us. So we see that as a thing that we need to move past. Let us do that. It's so difficult because so many people are conservative about things. It's a weird situation. I know with the pandemic. Just with the pandemic, a lot of that was amplified. I went to Guitar Center. I was looking for a particular item, and I understand it's so bad now where if you did do your research prior to and you have everything there all the way down to the item code, because that's what they want. They just want you to be able to feed them an item code, and that's it. That's the end of the thing. I don't know. I'm with you there. There are some things where if we're being human, I want to enjoy it. I want to enjoy the things that I can not replace the human on. But if there's some things like that where if I just got to input some data, then yeah, move to the robot. Yeah.
I'm like, it would be so much cooler because people are capable of doing other things for cash, you know, like remote working. People start to realize, whoa, I can do my whole job from my phone. And they're working while they're jogging, working while they're shopping. That's nothing. There's nothing wrong with that. This person's making money and then putting money back out. That's the goal, right? So make that easy on people. Let them enjoy lives and work versus making them stand there like you're paying them to just be present. You know, not to be awesome, but to be
seeing your perspective on it. How do you feel about androids?
Oh, I am for it, man. Like you said, evolution. I'm singularitarian. I believe that the evolution of life is to blend with technology. Now that's the only logical way I see it. Like I get spirituality and things like that, but I really get technology and I really get how I can use a screen to access a new network, a new universe that looks a certain way that you can live within. So I see that androids are going to be inevitable. I mean, we're walking amongst androids. There's people with machines in their bodies helping them live, and they don't see it. You don't see it as androids because they're not like half-faced metal and things like that.
Yeah,
but we're almost there. You know, prosthetics should have been like metal and cool looking. I don't know why they make people walk around with hooks still. Like, what the heck? Why do you have a hook for a hand, man? Like, this mannequin has a better hand than you. You should be angry about that, you know, because that's something to be angry about because they can obviously make fake hands. So why aren't they making one for you to use with your brain? And they are. It's a thing. So it's inevitable. And then you got like Neuralink, Elon Musk.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
That's an amazing technology. A lot of people are like, oh, they're going to control your minds and but they're already doing that. So the idea behind it is it's fixing your mind, not controlling it. It's
well, of course you're not going to be first in line, right? You're going to give it the glucose test, right?
Yeah, exactly. You let people get, you know, use of their pinky fingers back with it first, and then you start programming super soldiers to take over planets. But that's later down the road. That's a problem in the future.
But to bring things back to another idea with NFT, I had, because we were talking about it. Me and a couple of homies from the community, we're talking about it once. How another way to kind of evolve society into it is through gamification in some form or fashion. Which we're already playing these games. If you say for instance, on I don't know, random game Apex, if you designed one gun and just one gun, and you gave that to one person, but that gun was worth I don't know, however so much Ethereum, and it was its own thing, that would be one of the starts to encourage a generation to move that way. I don't know if there's because you tell me about the games where there are figures that they make. Well, not well, yes, games when they collect cards. But do you know of anything that's stepped it up another notch to where now it's a sword, this one and only sword, and it's in the game, and it costs actual money, and you can do so much with it? Do you know anything of that yet?
I know of like avatars. You can buy avatars to use in games and look like this character that someone designed. But
Hmm.
I haven't experienced anything myself with like legendary weapons that are increasing in value. That is awesome. I would like to do that because if you're playing, some type of FPS and someone's just slaying you with this gun and it's like this dude's badass, his gun is his gun and it's on the market now. That's cool. But I don't know of anything like that yet. It should happen though. This is a great way to teach kids investing too, because no one else is going to do it.
Now, the other thing, I guess, it sounds like with this, you would have to eliminate the dollar in order to, yeah, okay, yeah. So what is the world once the dollar is eliminated? That's the real big question because I know with Bitcoin, it's currently backed in some form or fashion by the dollar. So when
Mm,
Bitcoin becomes so great where it makes the dollar obsolete, and the same with Ethereum from what we've been talking about, basically I look at Ethereum as it's Bitcoin, but you got functions for it, and I wonder if it will become one of those things to just where my mind's doing that thing where it's just going all over the place. But to get back on track, would you say the dollar would have to become obsolete before these cryptocurrencies or just NFTs to actually reach their maximum potential?
not obsolete, no, because like okay, Bitcoin is backed on its technology, and that's it. And the U.S. dollar, yeah, it's heavily invested into it, but Bitcoin crashes anytime something happens to like one platform in China. The Chinese market, the Asian market in general, is dominating crypto, man. Like just all in it. They got everything going on in crypto for the most part.
Really?
And yeah, them and in Russia, it's a worldwide thing. I've seen a lot. I talked to so many Africans even who are heavily into crypto. It's so huge that America, yeah, we're a big, our dollar's a big impact on it, but we won't like destroy it if it didn't exist anymore. And it won't destroy the US dollar because we have a lot of soldiers that make sure that that thing stays valuable. And we have a lot of businesses that make sure that thing stays valuable. Now it is losing value, but it doesn't have to disappear in order for something like Bitcoin and Ethereum to work. I do think that it definitely has to reform, restructure somehow. It has to change how it works because it's a failing system. It's a failing idea, and
Hmm.
I I hope it doesn't just collapse because that's not fun. And then what they're gonna do then is ban all kind of other currency trade, and then there's a whole situation with that, and we just don't need that. So I hope the dollar gets fixed. That's for sure. But
Let's knock on some type of wood at the moment.
right, because it needs a lot of work, and it's on so much bullshit, and it can't be that. But
So
it can live
I did
along
want
with
to pull you back though before we left the talk on China and Russia because cryptocurrency is essentially a decentralized thing. how is China making cryptocurrency so popular when their goal would be to centralize such a thing? And Russia too, they would want to just keep it from within themselves and amplify it, I guess, to the point where they can control it. And then if they want to give it out to somewhere else, they could do that. But yeah, I guess I'm kind of cross between that because China, I don't see them backing anything that's decentralized.
Well, China has their own, like this Chinese state has its own cryptocurrency. It's called DCEP, I believe. I can't quite remember it, but they have their own cryptocurrency. They're involved in this because the decentralization is a person who enjoys surveillance, is best friend. You know, you can watch everything happen. And the fact that this stuff is backed by technology and technological growth and usage, and you have, you know, most of the world's population under your control here. You got a ton of people who are working even when the rest of the globe is shut down. You can do a lot with this world, with this like thing here. You know, it's like having control over a global stock market, or potentially having control over it, because all you have to do is mine enough Bitcoin and raise the value and power of your coin enough to control which way the tides flow in the crypto world. And they're in this, like they're in the game. The Chinese government is, and Chinese people are too. Actually, like one of the markets I'm trying to break into with NFTs is the Chinese market, because there's a lot of wealth in China. Like they're to think about billions of people compared to our couple million. And
Yeah.
businesses that don't close on the weekends, you know, like businesses that got people working 6 years a day. You know,
What about turning your eyes on India? Because from just the brief research I did, it sounded like the move would be towards India, since they are the one that will have the most in population coming up soon.
I mean, I want them all. I want everyone to look at my art.
I feel you.
I'm
I
not
feel
targeting anyone specifically, but that's the thing about crypto. You're looking at these huge populations of folks who are very tech savvy, who are involved in crypto. Like in the community, I see everyone in all kinds of languages and broken English talking about coins and what to buy and buying Lamborghinis and stuff. You know, like this is bringing the world together in a different way. As you know, you make money, congratulations, so did 1,000 other people. You don't make money, well, if you make money alone, then now people are mad and looking at you and looking to see where you messed up. But that's the thing about crypto. You know, when someone wins, a lot of people win. Not everyone, but a lot of people win. Like
but
when Bitcoin goes up, most of the market follows, so everyone's happy that day. You know, it's pretty weird.
my question, because one of the weirdest things about crypto, because was it Polkadot is like the latest one. Like, why are there so many? And I mean, because when you tell me about Ethereum and then I understand Bitcoin, the only reason you would have an alternate coin is if you just came up with some cool way, some other function, like, I don't know, maybe on some far-fetched idea, this crypto also pays your resources or some shit. I don't know. But like, why? Why is there so many? And how can we put a stop? Why? It's like, I don't know. Wouldn't we want to put a stop to having so many? Because it just dilutes the damn market, honestly.
Well, that's where regulation is going to step in. Once the government decides what to actually do with crypto, because like right now you can't buy cryptocurrency in a handful of states, and you know sometimes these every
Like, really?
day, yeah, like I believe, I can't remember which states exactly. It might be like 11 or 13 of them that you're not allowed to purchase cryptocurrency in those states.
Holy shit! I didn't know that was a thing.
And yeah, because right now it's, I believe it's still taxed as property, like capital gains, just like stocks and things like that. So it's not seen as something like, you know, a euro. It's seen as a whole different thing. So that's people who's playing with crypto really have to pay attention to taxes, because the IRS, they can see everything you do in like a second with software. But
Mm.
it's taxed like property. So um whole thing when regulation finally sets in, when everything's under control and the government figures out this is how we're going to regulate crypto, then only certain currencies are going to be allowed to be traded and purchased from this country, or at least used in this country. It's kind of like that already. Like some finance, for example, is Chinese. It's a Chinese company. It's a Chinese exchange where you can exchange your currency for a lot of other cryptocurrencies. But
Mm-hmm.
when America changed up how they were regulating it and you couldn't purchase so many currencies and Binance had to create a US version that only US citizens can only use the US version. And it only gave them access to a limited amount of currencies that are allowed to be traded in this country. And the same thing is with Coinbase. Coinbase was a big one, or is a big one still, because I've been using Coinbase since the big, crypto boom a few years ago. But they only give you access to certain currencies, which is a good thing because they're doing their research for the most part and seeing what they would like to represent, what's not going to cause them a lawsuit, what isn't money
I
laundering.
see
Because if one of these
some
currencies is
nasty
a
ideas with
Ponzi
this.
scheme, right? If somebody's just like, I started a currency and it's just give me your money, I'm gonna disappear, which happens every day. Then now Coinbase can be sued by the government. Coinbase can be involved as you are laundering money. You funnel all of these citizens' money into this company. So they are covering their ass, supposedly, and vetting these companies a little bit more so that way they're okay. And that's what's going to happen is the government is going to step in. They're going to say what you can and can't do with crypto and who you can buy and can't buy. But that's where all these different apps and coins come in, all right? So Coinbase, Binance US can only sell so much and let you exchange to certain coins.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do that. I want to turn my Ethereum into, a Uniswap token or into any ERC token, which is an Ethereum, a coin based on the Ethereum network, the Ethereum token, Ether. So Uniswap or Rari, all these tokens on DApps are ERC coins. So if I want to buy something like that, I can't do that on Coinbase for the most part. So I have to use a decentralized app or a decentralized exchange, which is called a DEX, to do such a thing. And it's literally just a stock exchange within the blockchain that you can change your coin for another one and stash it in your wallet that's on the blockchain, like MetaMask. And a lot of these exchanges have their own coins, like Uniswap. Uniswap's a good exchange, and it has its own coin that when it released that coin into the market, it made money. People got paid, how much was it? Like 300 or 400 uni tokens for using it. And it totaled out to be like, per address that used it. So if you use it with multiple wallets, you got a bunch of tokens, and that turned out to be like $1,200 in
That's
cash.
crazy.
Just
That
given to
is
people for
fucking crazy.
using it. So there's some people who used it in multiple wallets and just got this like 1,200. So that token for that moment was up high. Everyone wanted it. All the people who missed out on it's like, well, I'm going to buy it because they think for some reason people are going to buy it. But for the most part, these tokens then fall in value a bit and kind of stabilize. And that's what happens with most of it. But
now, I want to pull you back to, because the idea, or I don't know, the point in time that the government does stand up and do something about it, which it's weird. I kind of don't want them to, but at the same time, something will need to be done in order to, I don't know, make this, just to give it some kind of boundary, so we don't have all the limits that we have where a person just wake up tomorrow, say Legos are the new cryptos. But how does the government do anything about attempting to put some kind of boundaries on like Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin its roots are, it's a decentralized coin, and that's one of the things that people are pretty much they're just that's the reason people go to Bitcoin, because it is decentralized to a point where it can flow everywhere without the government intervention. If I'm not mistaken, the technology is built that way. So to a point where government could not intervene with it. The only thing they could really do with it is say it's against the law. But I guess, yeah. Is there a way to do that, or do you have any thoughts on that?
There's ways. I mean, the only thing that the government can truly regulate is their money, the dollar.
This is true.
But they can regulate their businesses that pay those dollars in taxes too. And they can tell those businesses that if you are, involved with these currencies in any way, you're going to get shut down, fined, jailed, which then stops or makes it very hard to buy these currencies with the dollar. And now you got to turn it into a foreign dollar and buy it with that. Like you got to do loops and hoops and things like that. And technically, you could still survive if you live, like if you made millions in Bitcoin, but Bitcoin couldn't be used in America anywhere or traded for USD anywhere, then how can you buy groceries with that Bitcoin unless you figure out how to turn it into USD without getting spotted by the IRS?
Yeah.
So that's how they can control it, is by controlling how their dollar turns into it and watching how many of the dollars turn into it. But the way that, like, sure, a lot of people, myself included before, it's like, oh, I love the way that this is just unregulated and it's wild and you can get scammed if you're not smart, which is okay, because just get smart about it and But it's like, I want to use this stuff. I can make something in Ethereum, and it'd be nice to just buy something in Ethereum without having to convert it.
Yeah.
But you can't do that anywhere yet. And you can't go to Walmart and use Dash or any type of crypto coin yet because of the regulation. It has to turn into the USD before you can spend it. You can even turn it into a gift card before you spend it, but you can't use those coins yet. And I'd like for it to eventually be where I can start a business and start my own currency and have people pay me in my currency that I can turn into something and not have to do it in a weird way to not get caught. I can advertise it like Facebook and Libra.
Well, with the weird system we have in place, as far as how we decide these decisions on how this country goes, voting. We're saying voting because it's the season. Anyway, the point that I'm getting at is the way that we have this system. It's like, to see some real change that actually will benefit the cryptocurrency as a whole, we probably won't see it for another 20 years, because our generation is the main ones who are about this and see this innovation and see it for what it is. I don't see an older head getting really behind it like that. Well, at least just from my experiences or just hearing people how they're kind of set in their ways, I don't see them getting that heavily behind it.
It's coming for sure a lot sooner than we think, because they know about it. The government, these old folks, may not specifically know about it themselves, but everybody else, especially the IRS, they know about it. And there are bills that are in process that are for cryptocurrency. Like the Cryptocurrency Act of 2020 is one that a lot of people were still are looking forward to, or trying to stay in tune with, because if that passes, if that regulation, it's like a set of regulations for crypto, if that finally passes, then Chase Bank is going to buy Bitcoin. Chase Bank is going to buy this stuff. All these banks are going to get involved. And when banks get involved, prices soar. And all the long-time investors are just like, they're set now. So we're all looking like, regulation, come on, like, do this so you can inflate our prices, so we can make some money, and then let other people
get in there.
Right.
If you, I feel like if you're not in it, you at least need to put $20 in it. So at least when the flip does happen, now you got 40. No, but it's crazy, because I recognize that cryptocurrency will be a thing. I went to a gas station and they have little vending machines where you can convert your money to a wallet. They have these machines already just in random places like a gas station. So
Yeah.
there's no turning back. Honestly, I think it's just a matter of time. I feel like it is just a matter of time.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going anywhere. It's been here for a long time. It's always had a purpose. You know, it might not be the same purpose anymore, but it's always had a purpose, and it's not gonna go anywhere. It's all about, do you want a piece of it, or do you want to try to spend so much to keep it out? And I think the government will rather have a piece of it. You know, so they tried to even with the first stimulus bill draft that they did, there was mention of a digital dollar.
Yeah, someone
You
was oh,
know,
that's told about that part, and I thought that was crazy that it had made it to the floor like that. And even though it was rejected, the fact that it made it to the floor basically is telling you this is a tomorrow that's coming really soon, sooner than we think.
yeah,
And
it's gonna be like a wake up and it's a thing now type of thing.
I have a question from the community that I want to ask. It was the question is the most efficient way. Oh, I wrote that crappily. The question is there an efficient way to basically create NFTs and see a return on it, or is it a waiting game? Yeah, I guess that's the question. Is it just a waiting game, or is there a way to create NFTs and see a return on profit fast?
Um, I I honestly prepare for a waiting game. It can be a waiting game, or it can just blow up for you. It's really random. It's all about what's happening in the world of NFTs and what the collectors are interested in and how much you value things and what you release. But
Yeah,
for each platform, there's different formulas that work better. You know, like where rareable, collectible type artworks work better. You know, cards and things like that. On OpenSea, I could sell like more complex art, like with full scenes and things like that, at a decent price. That seems to sell better there. On Super Rare, some artists upload often, and some upload every couple weeks. It's really random. And gauge it if you can just get in and make money quick, other than just keep trying new things, keep uploading stuff, and get involved in the community is what I'm learning
yeah.
too. You know, talk to people, comment on stuff, share other people's stuff, and notice, because it's small. It's not thousands of people on these things yet. These are hundreds of people looking at stuff. You know, it's the numbers are creeping up, but it's still small. So the main thing is just get in there early and stay in it, and you'll see something.
Well, dude, I this so first off, this has been a blast and a mind opener and it's another world. Honestly, if you play games and you're like going to adulthood, I feel like this is the game that you should be playing.
Yeah, exactly, man. It is just a game, and then you realize that this is all just a game.
Pretty much, and I'm excited about it. Like I want. Yeah, I think I need to go ahead and set up my wallet so I can go explore some crap. I really need to go do that.
Yeah, I recommend it. It's a lot of fun. You can get lost in things, and I like looking for weird, like, because I just started getting into buying NFTs myself as an artist. Usually, I just upload them, but I've been buying a few here and there, and I like to look for ones that I really like. I'm not a trend buyer, so there's so much art that's finding its way into the crypto world now, and it's really cool to see.
What's crazy is about that is because it can just be a collection. You can do it, do with what you can do with it whatever you want to. Which I could see down like it's crazy the world that this is gonna bring with all this because I start thinking about Carmen Sandiego and how the virtual
Yeah.
Carmen Sandiego can hop in there and then figure out a way to make duplicates of the things she really enjoys and then sell it back. I'm pretty sure there will come a time where someone's gonna be on that or trying to figure out how to do that.
There's already weird kind of things going on, man. There's people implanting their own art into your wallets and shit, and it's really stuff's happening, man. People, if there's something successful, then there's people who are gonna exploit it or figure out how to somehow. But it's happening. There's ways you can report if you think something's been like changed, or I mean, if something's stolen or artificial or whatever. But
it's a wild, wild west, and I don't know. I'm excited. Anything that's a wild, wild west, I want to go hop in it. I gotta go do that.
Same here.
I guess the question, or the final question I'll ask is, if you wanted to get started today, and the worst part is we've already covered this, but I guess just as a send off, if you wanted to get started today, what do you do? What's the first thing you do?
Download the MetaMask extension for your Chrome browser on your computer, or download the MetaMask app for your phone. It's a wallet, actually, MetaMask wallet, and then sign up for something like Coinbase, so you can actually buy Ethereum with your cash. There's a lot of things that'll tell you to sell you Ethereum, but I wouldn't trust it. Just sign up for something like Coinbase or Binance.us and some Ethereum, and then get MetaMask and start exploring Rareable, OpenSea, super rare, and Twitter. Oh, Twitter, dude. Look at the NFT hashtag on Twitter, and you will see artists uploading their stuff, promoting stuff, real time, collectors promoting what they're buying, platforms talking about what they're doing. There's all kind of things coming out. There's well, I'm kind of jumping off, but there's a thing that just started in Cryptovoxel. A couple of Black art enthusiasts purchased a very large amount of land in Cryptovoxels, and there's a whole like Black crypto art exhibition or exhibit type community being built. There's really dope, and I have a place in it. And it's cool because you gotta find this stuff. You gotta dig for it. So when you can get MetaMask, right? You get MetaMask, you can log into that. You can actually go into Cryptovoxel right now and browse around. But with MetaMask, you get a name and you can see your name, and it's just more official. So yeah, first thing to do is get some Ethereum, get MetaMask, and just start exploring.
Do you need anything outside just signing up for MetaMask?
Not really. Not really at all. Nothing is going to ask you for much like private information. It's just your key. As long as you keep track of your keys and passwords, then your shit's safe. Lose it, you lose your stuff. There's no recovery, your key is usually a recovery, but if somebody else has it, then they'll take it.
Yeah, so, and then they'll take your shit.
Exactly. So then no one's going to ask you anything personal. It's all just signing up and clicking sign for contracts, which aren't, they're not serious contracts. It's just that's how you sign up and sign into things.
Craig, tell everyone where they can find your material, because your art is amazing, and it's made me curious, and I'm glad you took the time to show me this world. Now, tell everyone else where they can start spiking their curiosities.
Check out my website at cblackmoore.com. That's letter C, then Blackmoore with 2 O's.com. Or on Instagram at Sir Blackmoore, SIR Blackmoore. Twitter at Sir Blackmoore, and Facebook /Sir Blackmoore. And you could check out, let's see, my NFTs are on Rareable. Just look me up, Craig Blackmoore. OpenSea, look me up, Craig Blackmoore. And Super Rare, same thing, /Sir Blackmoore, really. But yeah, I'm everywhere. Just Google Craig Blackmoore and look for some funky art.
Dope. I'm going to drop the bot and I'm going to ask you a couple questions, and we can go ahead and, go do some things in the real world.
All right.